Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a pretty good rack. I may have a 7, and I suspect there are several 8s. I have abortion through an R. I've got the anti-prefix. And I've got the Asian suffix, ATION. So hopefully my opponent will play something. And I can see if I have an 8. I'm looking for a 7 in this rack. There may be one. I have Boniato. Great. I do have a 7. Hopefully that will remain playable. And there's the R for abortion. Can I play Boniato? I think I can. Yep. Right down here. Now, what would be better than this would be a bingo beginning or ending with the D. So an anagram of bodation. Don't think there's one there. And possibly a double through the O. Well, that would be 3 O's. Unlikely. I'm going with this. Great. I draw the first blank. Not so good with the W and 2 U's. It may be worth changing the last 4 tiles on this rack. RE blank is a pretty strong 3-letter rack leave. However, maybe there's something better than changing. I've got BU double R, but that's not good. I need to lose at least 2 of UU and W. And I can't see a way of doing that, so I'm going to change. And it's really good seeing all these just disappear. And that is a much nicer rack. Plenty of bingos here. I've got Stinger and Droops. I've got Birthing from the B. So I certainly have bingos. Now, do I have a really good bingo? What about a double through O? Quite possible. What about rerouting? Don't think that's good. The ING is quite a useful ending to have with RET blank. Rebooting. Yes. Great, I have a double. Opponent lost contact or quit. The game has started. It's me to go first. I've got some good scoring tiles. So I can play Pomo. I'm just wondering about playing POMME, keeping TO. I think I will. No, I'm going to go back on my earlier choice. Pomo. I draw the Z. And I've got the U with it, which isn't so good. Through an A, I would have Morzia. Close to Zerum Bay. If I can get rid of the Z and the U, the rest of the rack is pretty bingo-y. So through an F, I would have Futs. Now, nowhere super hot for the Z leaps out. I do have access to the triple word square for a play beginning I or E. But I can't see a play there which uses the Z. Just now looking in column 12 for something down onto the Z. Can't see anything. What about getting my Z on this triple letter square? That's not going to work. Okay, so is there any way I can play off the Z with the U? My opponent's blocked Taos. Can't see anything. So I could play Ms. I think Tzur is good. That doesn't really help. I could play Ritz. But it would be nice to hide the Z. Gosh, tricky opening racks here. And pretty crucial ones. Okay, so what about playing Ritz across here? I'm getting a decent score. Z's not too helpful for my opponent. Rack leave, a little bit ropey. However, I draw more so, which is pretty fortunate. That plays as a double-double in row E at the moment, but I'm expecting my opponent to go there since that's quite a hot spot. And I haven't seen anywhere else for it. Ah, wow, more so stays available up here. Fantastic. That is a stroke of good fortune. 100. And I'm rewarded with 3 eyes, which is pretty brutal. Opponent challenges, he loses 5 points. I've got a 110-point lead. So where can I play off some eyes, or should I be changing? I can't see a way of getting down onto the Z. Iritai is not good. Now Torii is good, and that would sort the rack out. Iritic is also good, but the C's 1 square out. Nice score for my opponent, 32 points. So, is there anywhere I can play Torii? Ur takes an eye in front. Can't see anything good in row D. It may be worth changing here. I certainly need to play off 2 eyes. What about something coming down to the C? Well, I've got Toric. 24 points, keeping E-double-I. Well, I think that is better than changing. Is there an alternative play which uses another vowel? Don't think so. Well, there's a slight improvement here in the sense that I have Wi-Fi, which would certainly sort the rack out. But I can't see anywhere for that at the moment. Wow, brutal. Maybe I should have changed. And my opponent's provided nowhere for Wi-Fi. My F can go in front of Ritz. But I can't get that to play. Now my F can also go underneath this E. Do I have any FIO words? Can't see any. I've got nothing which goes underneath the J or in front of MA. So what I can do is Wynia, which sorts the rack out and scores 20, which is okay. Pretty horrendous. But I have a solitary vowel and the Y, which acts as a quasi-vowel, so I can probably play through this. I've also got a duplicate S, which means I can burn one of them fairly cheaply, and I'm looking immediately at IDS. But I can't see a play which goes there, which burns just the single S. And my Fritz play still unplayable. I don't have anything, and there may not be anything which goes AFLO or ends AFLO. Probably not. So at the moment, oh wow, look at that. Look at that. Fantastic pickup by my opponent from Shiniest. 7 random tiles, and he draws the tiles for salience. So from being behind, he's now 40 points ahead. And I've got a ropey rack. Now, what about playing to make Ayuri? So I could play Fibs across here. For 27 points, which is okay-ish. Rack leave not great, but not a disaster either. I note my Y can go next to the N. But I think I'll leave that open as an option for next turn. It'll be easier to use that if I have some vowels. Well, I haven't drawn vowels, but I haven't drawn a lot of vowels. I do, however, have the E, and the Y was also useful to hang on to, given I didn't have any vowels. 6 points behind. Ah, my Y can go after Ritz. Gosh, I hope I didn't miss something massive last go. Gosh. Okay, so I've got Yex for a big score. Did I miss something last go? Possibly. Has the other Y gone? It hasn't. Will my opponent play Ritzy? Ah. Okay, he doesn't, but he's blocked my spot. And I don't have a 6-letter play ending with the Y. So where can I play the X? It would be quite nice to hang on to the Y for Ritzy, but I don't want to keep the Y for a needlessly long time on my rack just for that 6-letter play, because it's inhibiting my bingo prospects and I'm 30 points behind. Now our priority is to play off the X. So where can I do that? And I'd like to leave bingo lanes open. The V and the V has really blocked things up. Well, maybe I should use this Ritzy spot straight away without it getting tripled. So I've got sexy in that spot. $32 points. What about the NY spot? Can't see anything great there. Now, what does Ami take that I've got? Well, it takes an E. So I could play X here. Keeping GHNSY. That's grim. Oh, or I could play Dexy down here. That keeps 31. That scores 31 points, and the rack leave is more tractable. If I draw vowels, this is close to a bingo. I'm keeping the H for going next to the S, and I'm not burning the S as I would have done with sexy. And if my opponent plays in column 15, he'll be opening the board up, so I'm going with this. Well, the vowels aren't coming, but I'm only 1 point behind. And there are vowels in the bag. 14 out of 32. So slightly consonant heavy bag. I guess more so burn some. 32 points for my opponent. Now, having only one vowel makes it very hard for me to use column 15, or impossible to reach the triple, which is annoying. My K can go next to the Y. It'd be nice to play off quite a number of these tiles because they're not bingo, so a play of honk or honks somewhere would be good. But I'm struggling to see anywhere for that. Honks and SH not going to score very much. I could play shog. Can't see a way of getting my K underneath there. 10 minutes on my clock. So what about just playing con down here? GHNS, not too bad. And it's opening the board up. 23 points, not great. Vowel next to a premium square, not great. Rack leave, not great. Just wondering if I've got a play in row J, which can open the board up. I don't think BOGO is good. Now, can I place a play beginning with D or beginning with the O? Oh, well, what about honky across here? 30 points. I'm slightly worried about this in case it's just IE, but I'm going with it. Still no vowels. It may just be shonky. Just pausing to see if this is challenged. If it stays on, I'm just 3 points behind. Look at that, the Q still to come, and 3 U's. Now I've burnt the H, so I've no longer got that hook for the S. But if this stays on, I like this play, in that it left just 3 consonants rather than 4, which was much better. But I don't have a great rack. However, this board is quite tight. Apart from the opening I've made with honky, which is really good for a bingo, but not massively good for non-bingos. Just looking around for spots to play. If I could play Vang or Vangs, that would sort the rack out, but I can't see anywhere for either play. I've got Navs in column 13, but that's leaving 4 consonants, which is not great. 11 vowels, but 3 of them are U's, so there's only 8 good vowels out there. Pav is good. Bogar is not. So again, with only 1 vowel, I can't profitably play in row L. Underneath honky, I would need a vowel underneath H and N to do so. I'm not sure about shonky. I think it's good, but I haven't got any great plays in that spot. Now, I guess I could play Vags in column 13, keeping DNST. If I draw vowels, I could have a strong rack, but it doesn't score very much. It provides an easy scoring spot for my opponent. 14 minutes on my opponent's clock, 9 on mine, 17 tiles in the bag. I don't have a vowel for playing underneath the W in terms of playing across row H. I don't have anything down from JA, so a pretty tight board. And a tight game, only 3 points between us. My opponent's got the vowels, look at that. He's played off 2 and he's probably keeping a bunch as well. And if I play Vags, that V will provide him with an opportunity to use vowels and score. 22 points, though not a huge score for him. So I could play Vog, keeping my vowel. No S's to come. So if I play Gov, I'm providing a spot which only I can use, which could be useful. No S's, no blanks. Although it's a score sacrifice, I think Vags burnt my precious A and provided a scoring spot for my opponent. If I draw an E, for example, well, if I draw a vowel, I may have a bingo, but I think it's not a likelihood. However, I do like keeping the A, and I do like creating a lane which only I can use. Okay, pretty good. I do draw a vowel, but is there a bingo here? My immediate thought is that there isn't. Nothing has leapt out at me. It'll be high probability if it exists. Through an A, I would have on Datras, but no 7 is leaping out at me, which is a shame. However, I should be able to leave a pretty bingo-y rack leave. There's still 13 tiles in the bag, and a bingo would definitely put me in a good position. I'm only about 20 points behind. Quite a few bingos through an O. Tardions through a Y. Now, there is an O in Tauric. Do I have anything to go between S and E? My A goes there. Well, let me consider the bingos. There are 4 of them. There's Donators. Okay. Let me consider the floaters my opponent has provided. Rotundas through the U, that doesn't work. On Datras doesn't work through the A. Can't see anything through the T. 8 minutes on my clock. So let me go back to the O of Tauric. Tandors. Donators. Odorants. Wow, I have got odorants. And there's one other. Let me see if I can retrieve that in case it's better. Odorants. Tandors. Tornadoes. Okay, that doesn't go. Odorants, 72. Wow. I have a slight doubt about the S at the end, but I think that's come in with the latest word list. And I've drawn a great rack. Onto an S, I would have squarely. No S's available, but that doesn't matter. I've got a really balanced rack, and I've got a U with the Q, and my opponent doesn't have the Q with a U. So now I'm 40 points ahead. My opponent could have a bingo, but it's not a great set of tiles. There's a U in Vaunt for my Q, as well as the one on my rack. Now, what about Vaunty? I think that's good. So, do I have a play with the Q ending with Y, which is at least 5 letters long? Query. Query Vaunty. Wow. Stays available. 27 for my opponent. He's emptied the bag. And he's got a horrible rack. Look at that. Fantastic. So Query and Vaunty for 70. And a pretty good rack leave as well. AL. I've got La above AN of Odorants. And I have Neil from NE, so I'm definitely going out. It's just a matter of finding the best spot. So I'll try and be fairly methodical. Okay, that's pretty good by my opponent from a grim rack to eke out 20 points and burn all those tiles. So 6 minutes to play AL. Lala and Anne, 8 points. La and Naz, 15 points. Can I beat 15? Not seen anything yet. Now, Lan, not good, I don't think. Alcove blocked by Vaunt. Okay, I don't think there's anything better than this. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 368 to my opponent, 452 to me, a winning margin of 84 points. So a pretty good win. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. Great, look at that. Pom, almost certainly not good. That would have been a howling and miserable start to the game with a phony. So Pomo, fine. Nice rack for my opponent. A few bingos, he misses them. He plays bailed. And this was a rack I struggled with and eventually found Ritz, which is okay. Looks better now than it did at the time. Emu felt like a bad rack leave, but I don't think it is quite so bad. Again, my opponent's rack, he plays Vegi. And look at that, more so, Mana from Heaven. Not the definition, just what it meant to me. Now, opponent's play, he plays a Jap. Riot Eyes, wow. I think that would have been the play, even though it would have opened up column 15, because it would have sorted out all those eyes on my rack. Toric, 8 fewer points, keeping duplicate eye. Not so dangerous, but I prefer Riot Eyes. And that was great for my opponent. Well, he has a ton of bingos. He would have bingoed anyway. And I'm stuck with my eyes. Vinny, D10. Ah, okay. Using the Uri hook. What did I do? Wynia, 20. Okay, not much between those. And I think Wynia better. I don't like keeping the W. I'd rather keep the F. And look at that for a pickup after Shiniest. Fabulous. So opponent plays Salience. I have a horrible rack, and I'm in poor shape. I'm 30-odd points behind, and I've got a rubbishy rack. Bisai, E15. And that's using Ritzy, which I didn't consider at this point. So, yeah, there was 47 on offer. And I did Fibs for 27, keeping GSY. Well, Bisai better. But no other Ritzy plays are better. Gosh, nearly another bingo for my opponent. He plays Edo. Oxygens, where's that? B8. Oh, wow, look at that. From the O of Toric. Oxygens for 52. And Yex, J8. Bogey, Ami. Oh, gosh. Okay. Either of those would have been pretty good. However, I played Dexy, which doesn't even make the list for 31, so definitely an inferior move, but not a bad rack leave and some strategic merit. Opponent plays Wage, and I play Honky, and I think that looks best. Opponent has Fluence and misses it. Fantastic. He plays Deke, and I'm 30 points behind. I don't have a great rack. I nearly played Vags. And what did I do? I didn't see anything on that list. I played Gov. That's it. I played Gov and to create a selfish bingo lane in that I had an S and there were no others available. Took the score sacrifice and relied on a good pickup, which I think I got. Opponent's rack. He plays Vaunt to block that opening to some extent. Look at that, Odorance was the only bingo. So delighted to have spotted that. Opponent's rack, he plays Cove. And now I get, well, pretty lucky to have 70 points right at the death with the Q. But I do. And opponent plays Fuller. And J5. L. Ah, because FAA is good. Okay, for 16. So I missed out on 1 point at the end. No problem. And that was the end of the game. So pretty exciting stuff. And the scoreline slightly deceptive in the sense that I was behind for most of the game and got a, in some ways, fortunate bingo, but Odorance turned the game around, and then Query was just the guilt, or the icing on the guilt bread, whatever the expression is, gingerbread man thing. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.